Hey, Mark from Sound Matters here, hope you're all well. So today's topic is how to clean very old or very filthy, dirty records. So sometimes records can get a little bit unloved and obviously build up very stubborn dirt and grime over the years. And so there's a little bit of extra care and attention required, but there are a few tips and a few tools and a few things you can do just to make it a little bit easier to bring those records back to life. So without further ado, let's get straight into those tips. Tip number one is always remove the loose stuff first. Get yourself a carbon fibre record brush like this one here. I like this Audio Quest one, has additional fibres in there and also these gold contact points to help reduce static as well and help you to be the person who sort of neutralises the static, if you like. We've done a full sort of review of how to use one of these over at the website and we've got a video on that, so I recommend you check that video out. But the reason you want to remove all of the loose stuff first is because although it is very tempting to go straight in with the record cleaning fluid, that's very counterintuitive, and what we actually end up doing is just kind of moving all that loose dust around, potentially pushing it further in to the grooves, making it harder to remove from the surface of the record, and maybe even making kind of like a bit of a sludge out of the loose dust that's on there, particularly if it's very dusty and has never been properly cleaned by any of the previous owners of the record. So you want to take off all of that easy to remove loose stuff with a carbon fibre brush first before we go into any wet cleaning whatsoever, whether that be by hand or using any sort of vacuum-based record cleaning machine. Tip number two is consider getting yourself a slightly stronger record cleaning fluid when it comes to cleaning very, very dirty used records. So it's no secret here at Sound Matters that I really like the Groove Washer formula. Their G2 formula, the original one, is incredibly effective at being a one-step, very quick and convenient record cleaning fluid that works very, very well in most cases. But with very, very dirty records, sometimes when there's a little bit more sort of stubborn stuff on there, it pays to jump up to their new G3 formula, which is a two-step record cleaning formula as opposed to the one step that is the G2 stuff. So it has higher amounts of the surfactants and emulsifiers in there, which is the stuff that really goes to town on the dirty stuff on the record, but the trade-off is you have to do that secondary rinse stage either with distilled water or with their purpose-made GSR rinse, which has a lower surface tension than standard distilled water, making it more effective in the process. So I do recommend stepping up to a slightly stronger formula if you are dealing with very, very stubborn, dirty records. But of course, doing that two-step process is very effective, but obviously takes a little bit more time. So whether you're cleaning by hand or you're using a vacuum record cleaning machine, such as like the Project VCE, which is the one that I have, either way, you'll have to do that secondary rinse stage when using a slightly stronger formula. But I do recommend it for cleaning used very, very dirty records. If you'd like to try Groove Washer out for yourself, you can do so for 10% less just using the discount code, which I've included with a link to Groove Washer in the description of this video. Tip number three is allow the record cleaning fluid a little bit longer time-wise to sit on the surface of the record when you're dealing with something that's very dirty. So this just gives the fluid a little bit of extra time to work. So those emulsifiers, those surfactants and everything, all the ingredients that are in your record cleaning fluid are going to have more time to go to town on the grimes, on the oils and everything, and hold everything into suspension so that when we clean it all off, whether it be by hand using a microfiber cloth or whether we're using a record cleaning machine, it's going to give that fluid more time to go to town on that stuff. So if you might leave your record cleaning fluid on there for say up to a minute normally, then extend that by another minute, another 2 minutes, whatever it might be, just to give it a little bit more time to work. I find that does help quite a lot. Tip number 4 is repeat the cleaning process if necessary. So with very dirty records, sometimes you will find that single clean is not enough to restore that record. Of course, we can't do anything about excessive groove wear or any scratches or anything like that. It doesn't matter how many times you clean a record. If the record is damaged or worn out, you're not going to see any improvement. But I have found with very dirty old records, if they've never been cleaned, then sometimes it takes maybe 2, maybe 3 passes of record cleaning to fully bring that up to its potential, if you like, right? So it's worth repeating the process, see if you get any audible benefits. Certainly if you put the record on the turntable and you notice that the stylus is ploughing dust, then I really do recommend you whip it off the turntable as quickly as possible to avoid any excessive stylus wear, and clean that record again, and do so until we stop ploughing dust in terms of the stylus playing the record. So yeah, obviously not only is that bad for the stylus, but it's not going to sound very good as well. It's going to sound progressively worse as it plows all the way through from one side to the beginning of the record rather, to the center. You're just going to have a stylus that's completely clogged with grime and dust, and it's going to sound terrible. So do repeat the process if necessary, see if we get any audible benefits. If the record's worn out, there's nothing you can do, but it is worth trying to clean the process, repeat the process several times to see if we get any audible benefits. Tip number 5 is to visually inspect the record surface for any particularly problematic areas. So using an LED light, such as the one behind me here, actually, this one, the Uberflex light that I have here by a company called Reliable, a Canadian-based company, really good and really useful LED lights to really show up any problematic areas on the record surface. So it's worth doing a visual inspection of the record surface, and if we do see any particularly problematic areas, it's then worth kind of applying quite liberally a little bit of record cleaning fluid there, and specifically then with the grooves trying to just rock backwards and forwards with a microfiber cloth to help try and work that out. So LED lights are your friend there, and I think a little bit of visual inspection under one of those can help to reveal where there might be specifically very problematic areas. Tip number 6, when cleaning records by hand, it can pay to have 2 different types of cleaning pads. So Groove Washer here do 2 different types of pads that you can affix to their handles, their lovely walnut handles. But there's the Black Magic pad, which is actually a new product of theirs, which is designed specifically to get deeper into the grooves with very, very fine bristles. So that's good first step cleaning pad. And then once you've applied this first Black Magic pad with the slightly finer bristles in there, you then move over to the standard microfiber attachment, such as this one here, which is much more absorbent than the Black Magic one. The Black Magic one isn't so absorbent, but it's better at getting into the grooves and cleaning, if you like, and this one's just much better at absorbing the fluid after you've done the hard work with the cleaning. So it is worth having, I think, both of these, and particularly when you're dealing with very dirty records, I find that the Black Magic pad does help to improve results. So worth having both of those on hand, though. It's not a one or the other kind of thing, it's just the 2 in tandem, if you like, work very well together. Tip number 7 is no matter what you use to clean your records, whether it be a standard microfiber cloth like this or one attached to one of the walnut handles such as the Groove Washer one here, you need to replace or clean your microfiber towels regularly. There's no point using over and over again the same microfiber towel across hundreds of records and just spreading dirt from one record to the next. You know, we're not going to be very effective at hand cleaning vinyl records if we're using dirty pads, quite clearly. And that's one of the criticisms of cleaning by hand, of course, is that, you know, well, what happens to the dust? Well, yeah, the surfactants and everything, emulsifiers help to hold it in suspension and take obviously the fluid then takes that with it. But if our microfiber towel is dirty, then we're just going to be spreading dirt from one record to the next, which is a fair criticism. That is where actually having a record cleaning machine such as the VCE, the project one that I have behind me here, does have some additional benefits. But if we are cleaning by hand and we're using microfiber towels, it's so important to use distilled water and just a little bit of dish detergent to clean them up on a regular basis, and then allow them to air dry overnight. What I don't recommend you do, and you should never do with microfiber towels, is throw these in the washing machine, because that will pick up lint and everything from your clothes and all the other stuff that you wash, and you're then just going to spread that all over your records and cross-contaminate those. So although it is tempting just to stick them in the washing machine, you will pick up lint, and that will then cross-contaminate over to your record. So don't do that either. Use distilled water and a little bit of dish detergent only, and that is it, and allow it to air dry before then using the pad again. Tip number 8 is that using a record cleaning machine can improve results, whether that be a vacuum-based record cleaning machine such as the one that's behind me here, and we've got a full review of that, by the way, which I recommend you check out. I'll put a link in the description below. But also ultrasonic cleaning machines are immensely effective as well. There's so many different record cleaning machines out there, all of which can help both make lighter work of cleaning a lot of records in one sitting, and also potentially improve the results as well. So while cleaning records by hand, as long as we keep those microfiber cloths clean and replace them regularly, is very effective, effective. Using a record cleaning machine has additional benefits in terms of actually physically taking that cleaning fluid, sucking it off the record surface is clearly going to reduce the risk of cross-contaminating and help to draw all of that out of the record surface slightly more effectively in my experience. So I do find that having a record cleaning machine is beneficial if you can stretch your budget to affording one eventually, and you can use your favorite record cleaning fluid using those record cleaning machines. You'll just find that it will reduce the workload for you and hopefully improve the effectiveness of the record cleaning fluid at the same time. Tip number 9, if you own an ultrasonic record cleaning machine, you should add a surfactant to the record bath to reduce the surface tension of the distilled water. So instead of just filling the tank with standard distilled water, add a drop or two of surfactant to that record bath and it will reduce the surface tension of the water and aid in the cleaning process. Tip number 10, and the final tip for our list today, is to never use any alcohol-based record cleaning fluids when cleaning shellac-based records. So overall, actually, I recommend keeping any isopropyl alcohol use in a record cleaning fluid as low as it can possibly be. Keeping it low, don't use excessive amounts of isopropyl alcohol, but certainly when it comes to shellac records, it's a big no-no whatsoever, as the alcohol will dissolve the shellac surface of the record. So primarily through this video we've been talking about cleaning vinyl records, of course, more modern PVC based vinyl records, but if you own a very old shellac 78s, you've got a big collection of those and you're looking to restore those and clean those in the same sort of way, you must not go anywhere near any record cleaning fluid that contains any isopropyl alcohol. Preferably look for a record cleaning fluid that is approved and kind of specifically designed for cleaning shellac records, or at least specifically states categorically that it is safe to use on shellac records and will not dissolve the surface. But alcohol certainly is a massive no-no when it comes to shellac. And that concludes today's video. We hope you found it useful and we hope you found it informative. If you've got another tip to add to our list, then please do let us know in the comments below. I've also included in the description of this video a link to all the products that I've mentioned, so you can go and check them out for yourself, including any appropriate discount codes that apply to the Sound Matters subscribers and viewers. So once again, thanks very much. Give this video a thumbs up if you like, and thank you ever so much for watching. If you're new here, please do consider subscribing, and we will see you in the next video. Keep spinning.